Hello everyone, I'm going to do a video review of the Dreo Pilot Pro tower fan on the right and the Dreo Pilot Max tower fan on the left. I bought both of them for separate rooms. The main difference between the two is that the Pilot Pro on the right will run 24/7. It does not have a permanent timer unless you set a timer, which, you know, if it's running silently, because as it runs it doesn't have any lights, you might forget if it's running slow and silent, and you might leave your home and it'll be running unnecessarily. While the Max on the left has a built-in timer. It will auto shut off no matter what in 12 hours, even if you do not set a timer. Other than that, so the Pilot Pro on the right has speeds 1 through 9, while the Max on the left have speeds 1 through 12. And I used my cell phone and a decibel meter app on the phone, so it's not going to be really accurate. And there's a little bit of background hum from outside noise. But what I find generally is that the Max on the left is about 2 to 3 decibels lower in noise than the right. They're both very quiet fans for the most part. And they don't, even though it's advertised at 25 by the manufacturer, but that's also in the Silent Lab, I find that they both start around, so the Max starts around 31, 32 decibels at speed 1, while the Pro on the right starts at around 34, 35 decibels. And then you'll have the Pro on the right. It mostly stays silent up until about speed 6. At speed 6, you're looking at decibels of about 43, 44. And then at max speed level 9, you're now at about 46, 47 decibels. While on the Max, on the left, that one stays below 45 decibels, so, 42, 43, 44 decibels, up until about speed 10. And then from speed 10 to Max, it will go up higher than the Pro on the right. If you're at max speed 12, it'll go up to about 47 decibels, 48. But I still find that that is lower than other fans out there, box fans, other tower fans. And that's assuming you need to run it at maximum speed. I rarely run it at that speed. I'm usually at about 4, 5, maybe 6. So it's quiet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one without speaking, one level at a time, and to verify I am 6 feet away from them. So 72 inches, 6 feet. Okay, so we're going to start with the Pilot Pro on the right. And again, the price point's similar. I think they're about $30 difference, but here we are, level 1. Level 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. This is where it starts getting noisy. I won't say noisy, but audible. 7. 8. Max speed 9. Now there's a slight whirring noise from the motor at the bottom, I don't know if that's just the model I got or if that's typical. And that's only on the Pilot Pro. You'll see in the Max tower on the left at top speed 12, I don't hear that bit whirring noise in the motor. I don't know if that's the bearings or just the function of the speed of the sound and a small enclosure. Alright, so I am going to set it back to 1. I'm going to turn this one off. I'm doing it by hand because if I use the remote, they both activate at the same time. So let me turn on the Max now. We're at level 1, again 6 feet away. Level 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. Now it's more audible. 8. This is level 9. So the Pilot Pro on the right maxes out here. Level 10. 11. Maximum speed 12. So at this speed you could hear it blowing air, and you could hear the motors, the motor I should say, spinning, but at least to my hearing I don't hear that slight whirring or bearing noise that I did in the Pro. And again, I don't know if that's just my model, my specific unit that I got, or if that's typical or whatever. But here's level 12 on the Max. I'll turn that off. Here is level 9 on the Pro. And I'm going to go back to the Max, and I'm going to bring it back to level 9. Now I can't measure the wind speed to tell you how much CFMs each of them are blowing at specific speed levels, but it's a very focused, direct airflow, and I'm satisfied with it. I rarely use the higher speeds. I'm at 4, 5, or 6 typically, and that is good enough for me. Other things in terms of height, obviously they're the same. The Pro on the right, this is the menu it has. So you can begin having it rotate, timer, mute it. So the fan only has one button. Trying to focus the camera. You can only increase from 1 to 9 and back to 1 again. You can't lower the speed manually. You have to use the remote. The remote has a plus or minus, while this only has 1, increase the fan. And on the far right is the changing the modes, like sleep mode, automatic, etc. But it's clearly, you can clearly read the labeling. For the Max now, it includes to lower the speed as well as increase the speed. And then to change the modes, to oscillate, power, and timer. That is to set times that you can have 1 hour or more, but by default this will auto turn off in 12 hours, even if you don't have a timer turned on. So it's up to you to decide whether or not that's a feature that would annoy you or that you prefer. Because again, if it's running silently, this one, you're not going to see a light on it, and you're going to forget that this thing's still on before you leave your home. While this one, I mean, it might be 12 hours later, but it will shut off. Beyond that, in terms of handling, for the Max, you can put the remote here, and this also serves as kind of the handle. There's no like real built-in handle, but you can put one on here and one on here, on the curve or whatever. While the Pro, it serves as a handle, but also as like a cubby hole, and you could store the remote there. Besides that, the bases are different. So I do like the Max base better. Bear with me for a moment. I gotta flip them on their sides. Or I'll just lift it. So with the Max, it has a red screw, I think is more stable. It holds the tower units to everything's molded plastic, but at least you have a large red screw-in base, which I think if it tips a little bit, it's less prone to maybe breaking, versus on the Pro. The Pro has just little clips. I don't know if you could see it well, but there's clips that go into a track of on the pedestal, the base, and then you rotate it a little bit and they lock in place, and that's all plastic as well. But again, they're smaller clips, so you know, as long as you're lifting this straight and like, it's not flimsy. To be clear, it's not flimsy at all. But I'm just thinking personally, I have more confidence in a whole red, you know, that red turning screw for surface area to stabilize and hold this thing onto the pedestal, versus, you know, 2 clips on one side, 2 clips on another, and then you rotate it from 12 and 6 o'clock to, you know, 3 and 9 o'clock to lock in place. But other than that, they're both sturdy fans. But again, both the same height. So I hope that helps. All right, goodbye.
Guys, I'm on my bed and feeling how far the breeze goes. And we have a California King, which is, I guess, 6 feet. So the fan is probably about 9 feet or 8 feet away from me, I think. I'm not so good with calculations of feet and stuff, but I feel the breeze all the way up. And on both sides of the bed with equal intensity. And there was very, very hot room. It's feeling a lot cooler now. Yeah. So, I know in the US and colder countries, you may not need your speed that high, but definitely if you're in a hot climate, like in the Caribbean or any other part of the world where it might be super hot, right now this fan, it definitely will bring some comfort and cooling. It's on auto mode right now. It's an auto mode. It's supposed to, it adjusts to the ambient temperature of the surroundings, the speed, yeah. But remember, it's not an AC, so don't expect AC breeze. There is the Dreo fan I saw with the capacity to put ice for cooler breeze, and you could also just put ice in front of this one too if you know it was super hot. But so far I'm super satisfied with it. The setup was pretty easy for me, who don't deal with tools at all and hates to follow instructions. The instructions was pretty simple. And the manual is simple too, not very complicated, and doesn't have the words in weird orders. So I would give it a 5. A 5. Definite 5. 5 stars. Yay! Well, I hope this review helps someone. This other reviews helped me in purchasing. Oh, and this is really. Oh my gosh, which model is this one? I just purchased it. It has a 5-year warranty. It is a Dreo fan. I think it is the Pro Tower Max. I think that's what it was. I can't remember right now. And my manual is for, I guess, all Dreo fans. Oh no, it isn't. It actually isn't.
Mi vola tutto già. Alla 12 non è possibile. Ecco.
And you can set it on a timer as well. So it has a lot of different options. Alexa, fan 12.
Okay.
Pure garbage. You expect me to sleep with that thing on? Ridiculous. Pathetic.